Hey everybody, Shoebox Legends here. Thanks for joining me today for a look at some Helmar baseball cards. I've done a couple episodes on the Helmar brand. They are located in the Midwest and they make custom art cards that celebrate the history of the game. You know, all kinds of retired Hall of Famer and Negro League players on different designs, unique designs that they make up. All their artwork is hand done, original artwork. They make their cards themselves. They do a fantastic job assembling these. They have a website with like a registry where you can track your collection and buy them from other sellers. And they only release their cards in very limited quantities that are documented and researchable on the website, so you know kind of exactly what's out there for population. They don't overprint these things. They're just really, really cool cards if you enjoy art cards. And I've shown these a few times. Most recently showed this Bullet Joe Rogan from Helmar Oasis that I was so excited to get because there just aren't a lot of Bullet Joe Rogan cards out there. He was a Negro League star and is considered one of the better players ever to play in the Negro Leagues. But there's just a crazy lack of cardboard out there for him, and was so excited to get this one courtesy of Helmar. So I think they're great. As I said, they do a great job kind of celebrating the history of the game, and it's a fun way to get cards of players that maybe don't have a lot of cardboard out there, or whose cards are just unaffordable or unattainable to those on a limited budget. Although the Helmar stuff can get expensive, there's a lot of competition out there for their cards. So today, you know, having shown these Oasis cards recently, just wanted to get into some more Helmar that I have here. They do have a handful of different designs, and they do retire sets as well, and we'll talk more about that in a minute. But here's a third Oasis that I have, Clyde Milan for the Washington Senators. And I talked about this when I showed the Bullet Joe Rogan, and this is in kind of a team set bag, but you can still see these are actually like framed borders on these cards. And just really, really nice design. This is the Cycle Cigarettes brand. They make their own backs as well, and they kind of wear down the cards and the edges and give them like an old type feel. I just really, really, I sound like a huge, you know, Homer fanboy here, but I enjoy the work that they do. So I have two other sets that I wanted to touch on from Helmar. The first of which I've shown these on the channel before, but it was way back in the early days, a year or two ago. So a lot of you may not have seen that video, but they make a quote unquote T206 release as well. So these are made to look, you know, like the original T206 cards, but again, feature the unique artwork of Helmar and their own checklist. So this is a Hugh Bedient for the Red Sox here. This is a Colgan's Chips card here. You got a guy smoking down in the lower corner. It's a little tough to make out, but these are the same size as an authentic T206, like a tobacco card. Beautiful coloring. Again, they do their own unique backs for these. So here's a larger look at the Colgan's Chips baseball pictures back. And I apologize, he's not smoking. He's eating a chip, turns out. So that was off on that one. So there's your Colgan's Chips back. So these are cool. These go up at auction. What they do is every Tuesday night on eBay, and soon to be on their own website, they have maybe like 3 or 4 dozen cards that are up for auction that week. They all start at $9.99 for an opening bid with no reserve, and they just end where they may. So if you're patient and you just kind of look for low-hanging fruit, I've grabbed a lot of these T206s for just $9 or $10. Here's another one here. I think this is Benny Koff for the Indianapolis team of the Federal League, and I love this. I don't actually have any Federal League cards from T206 or like Cracker Jack or anything like that. I would love to own one someday. But in the meantime, I thought this was a really cool painting, and I love the sunset there behind Koff. And this is a just standard Helmar exotic back. I just like their artwork. It feels like very period authentic. Just really a lot of care goes into researching the players and creating these cards with an authentic feel. Here's a cool one, Slim Sally for the Cincinnati Reds. I picked this one out just because of the artwork. I don't really know the first thing about him as a player. Obviously played like 100 years ago. Wasn't around then to observe the game of baseball, but that is a beautiful painting right there. Like, I love the contrast between the green field, the yellow sunset, and the stands. Just awesome. Great old school uniform there. And this one has the baseball history and art back. The color on these, I don't know how they do their printing or where they get it done, but they really, really are just professionally done quality. Here's the last T206 that I've shown, and this is my favorite of the bunch. This is an example of just being able to do something fun in the hobby, courtesy of these art cards. It's a Casey Stengel card. I don't have anything from his playing days. Have plenty of managerial cards of Stengel, but look at this great shot with Brooklyn. The checkered uniform there. A young Casey Stengel. Just awesome. And the back on this one is just an example of their fun kind of creativity that they get on the backs of their cards. Rough on Rats. 15 cents per box. Clears out rats, mice, bed bugs, flies, and roaches. So pretty cool. I appreciate these. You know, they're not... I know some people get disturbed by these and they just... You know, they're not authentic, real T206 cards, and that offends people, and, you know, it's misleading that they're reprints, and I understand all that, but I think if you know that, and you're an educated buyer, these are a fun way to expand your collection. So I don't get caught up in all the complaining. I just enjoy the beauty of the cards, and I love Helmar. So I have one more to cover here. This is a oversized card that they made. I should have checked on the website. It's helmarbrewing.com, H-E-L-M-A-R brewing.com, and I'll leave a link below. But they have checklists and sort of updates on what they're producing, and they do retire sets. After they've run a set for a few years and, you know, printed a few copies of each card, they'll mark that set retired, and they will no longer produce those cards, and you can only get them on the secondary market. And I believe this set has been retired because I haven't seen any of them in their auctions in some time. But it was called Polar Night. And these are really large cards. Like if I put this up next to a standard size modern card, this Manny Machado, you can see that they're significantly taller and quite a bit wider than your modern day trading card. So the storage can be tough. What I found with these, if you put them in a graded card sleeve bag like this, and then get 4 pocket sheets for a binder, you can put them 2 by 2 and they sit really nicely in a binder. But look at the artwork on this. This is Kid Nichols. And obviously I was drawn to this one because I was a Red Sox team collector at the time. Just love the artwork with the literal Red Sox and the Boston jersey there, the great era, you know, appropriate cap, and just a nice image there of having a toss in front of some nature scenery on a grassy field. So really, really cool card. These all have the same back, these Polar Night ones. It's just this kind of plain back Polar Night with a giant polar bear and then a card number here in the middle. So these aren't my favorite backs of any Helmar card that I've ever had, but I think the oversized card actually just presents like a really, really good canvas to enjoy the artwork on. So I have one other Polar Night to show today, and then we'll wrap this video up before the 10-minute mark. But also have this Harry Hooper for the Boston Red Sox. And again, just awesome Red Sox. Great shot here. Just gorgeous artwork. I'm going to just wrap it up because I sound like a broken record, and I could go on complimenting Helmar and the job that they do for, you know, another 10 minutes here. But I want to keep this one brief. I know art cards aren't for everyone, but I think they do a good enough job that they deserve some props and a little bit of exposure. I've met quite a few people in the community here since getting on YouTube that were either already familiar with them or became familiar with them after watching a video of mine and have picked up some cards as well. So fun stuff, and that's going to be a wrap for today. Those are the Helmar cards that I've picked up and shown to date. I do have a few more that I didn't cover in this video. We'll save those for some point down the line, including one pretty big Hall of Famer. But we'll wrap it there for today. Appreciate you stopping by to check these out. Would love to hear your opinion in the comments below on Helmar or even just art cards in general, where you think their place is in our hobby. And in the meantime, hope everybody stays safe, and we'll be back soon. Take care.